On today's show, we're going to talk about presentation goals. So when you think about presentations, what kind of things cross your mind? Well, you think about your message, of course. Is it well crafted? You think about the statistics. You think about the facts that are embedded in your presentation. What about the equipment you're using? Is the projector working? Will people be able to see, the keynote slides or your PowerPoint slides, which of course, so many people write and say don't use them, but most people use them anyhow. You wonder about the venue. Is it a good room? Will people be able to hear you? What about the microphone? Is it working properly? How about the lighting? All of that stuff is important. Well, yes, all that stuff is important. But I want to suggest that there's another whole side to this issue that may be more important than all that other stuff. And I call it the silent conversation. So a presentation seems like not a conversation, but simply a one-way delivery of information. The presenter is speaking, the audience is listening. And that's what it appears, but in fact, that isn't what it is. Because you see, the audience, in fact, is having a dialogue with you. It's just occurring in their minds. And you don't hear it, but it's going on nevertheless. It's this conversation in their mind that I call the silent conversation. And in this silent conversation, yes, they're listening to the words you say, they're watching your PowerPoint slides or whatever, but they're judging both the information and, more importantly, you. The information is tied to you. You are tied to the information. They come together hand in hand. And if they don't trust you, if they don't believe you, they're not going to trust or believe the information. The information may be great, and it may be factual, and it may be substantiated, but if there's something about you that they don't like, know, or trust you, remember that phrase that's on the internet right now, know, like, trust? Well, maybe they can't get to know you, but they can get to like you, and they can feel trust in you if you give them a reason to. And conversely, if you don't, they won't, and they'll reject or diminish the information that you're delivering to them. So now that you know you're being judged and even scored in some way, what do you do about that? Well, I'm going to suggest that you ensure that you're really present in the moment, on that stage, at that lectern, in front of that room with the people that you're talking to. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that, yes, assuming that your facts are right, yes, assuming that all your research is correct, that you personally are invested in delivering that information, not just physically standing there saying the words, but intellectually, emotionally, that you're passionate about what you're delivering. You just don't say you're passionate. You evidence the fact that you're passionate, that this is important to you, that you want them to get this information because you believe it's in their best interest that they do. When they see that kind of emotion and connection to the message from you, they are going to score you and consequently your message high. If you don't do that, they're going to score you and your message lower. And that's not why you're there. Now, I'm going to show you a book that I keep in the studio, mainly so that I can look at the title. Well, here it is, and it's titled Be Here Now. I keep this book in the studio, and yes, it's an old funky book, and look, it's printed on brown newsprint, getting browner with age, but the reality is the title reminds me to be here now, and that's what I'm telling you to do. That's what I'm suggesting you keep in mind. If you want to score well in the minds of your audience, if you want to get a higher ranking, personally, that's going to affect your information. Be present in the moment. Be tied to the information. Don't just loosely stand up there and think, well, my information is so factual and it's so statistically incredible. They're going to love it, regardless of how I deliver it. And that's not true. So, be there now. Be present in the moment. You'll get scored high. That silent conversation will go your way, and that's what I wish for you. Have a great presentation. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.